Hey guys, SoFly C63 here. I'm here with my 2012 C63 AMG, and I'm going to show you guys how to change this courtesy light down here. As you guys know, it glows like a halogen type, and most people, if they're doing their LEDs, are going to want to change that as well. You can find videos online that show you how to change the caps here, but that's not as easy as just changing the bulb. You have to remove some hardware, remove the actual lens, the mirror lens here, and then pull this black piece down to get to the bulb. There's no easy entryway. Don't try it, you're going to ruin it. So I'm going to show you start to finish how to remove the cap and how to get down to the guts here and get the bulb changed out to an LED style. And hopefully this do-it-yourself will help. This housing on top. Now I went ahead and did that because on any brand new car, mine's a 2012, most people will understand that all the connectors are hard to unplug, i.e. like engine stuff. Anything to remove is going to be tough. It's a brand new car, so I actually struggled with this one. It probably took me 5 minutes. I didn't want to leave the camera recording. So I already got it off. I left it in place. So all this does is you want to pull this out that way, not far. I mean, pull it and lift. And then you'll eventually get to the point where you can do this and have your hand back here and pull up on the mirror housing. It's going to go pop right off. Now, I'm going to warn you, it's going to sound like it's breaking when it comes off. Okay, it's going to pop really hard. But don't be alarmed. Just keep the mirror facing inward like that, and you'll have nothing to worry about. And that way you won't have to worry about it getting scratched. Now you can see in here, there's a tab, there's one, and it's got tabs all around the edges here. Okay, and that's what holds it on into place. And then there's a connector in there, sorry, and that's where your LED strip will light up. And that's how it's plugged in. Kind of actually neat, the setup. Let me just shove this over here. Now you can really see the guts of the mirror. Now there's the connector where you're going to set that back on, and that's where it plugs into. And you can still rotate all this whole mass unit. And remember, it's going to feel, everything's stiff. You can move this, rotate it. It's going to feel like you're breaking stuff, but you're not. You just got to have patience and relax, and this stuff is actually pretty straightforward. The main thing is, like I mentioned, you don't want to break this. I mean, I'm sure this is expensive, so you just don't want to break it. Now, the next tool you're going to need, I don't know how many people, some guys maybe techs or not, but a little flathead like this one. And what you're going to do is we have to remove this mirror glass, okay? Yeah, you can pull this down that way, that direction, and it'll pop off. That's actually how a lot of write-ups do it. I personally don't feel comfortable, pulling on this mirror. I'm sure it's like $1,000. So as you can see, it's going to be tough to see on camera, but when you get the actual visual aid yourself, you'll notice what I'm talking about. There's little clips, clip. There's probably 1, 2, 3, 5 clips up on this side. Okay, and what they do is they clip onto the almost ball and socket. That's what moves it. Now when you pull, what that does is it's just popping off the clips. I take a little flathead and I just apply a little pressure on the mirror, and I just pop up the tabs one by one. It's not too bad. You just want to slowly lift the tabs. Like I said, because it's kind of sketchy, pulling on a mirror. I'm pulling on a mirror on a Mercedes. I mean, this has so much electric and gizmos in it. I don't want to break it, to be honest with you. You're going to have tabs all around. It's also going to be handy to have a flashlight as well with you. Now look, I only did 3 tabs. No sweat off my back, okay? And now once you get the tabs free, you can wiggle it and it's going to free itself. You're going to have some tabs on the bottom that you're not going to be able to reach, and there you go. Mirror's out. Now what I did is I just set the mirror on top like that. It's still wired, it's still connected, but that's really all you have to do. And now I'm going to flip this around so you guys can see what it looks like. It clips on here, on this rotating disc. That's really it for that part. The next segment I'm going to do here is when I actually show you the screws to disassemble, because I have to reset up the camera, and how to pull this lower black piece off. but now you know how to pull the mirror off. The little clips on the back, pop them up, push the mirror gently outwards this way. The mirror will fall right out. Okay, now for the fun part. We gotta get down to the light. I'm gonna try to show you guys this as best as possible. I know this is not the easiest thing in the world to do. There are only 2 screws to drop this panel and 2 clips. One screw is here. You can see where that wrench is going, right there. One bolt, and the other bolt is in there, right there, right where I'm pointing to. Okay, you're gonna need a Torx head. I know that camera's not even gonna pick it up, it's not gonna focus it. It's a star, it's a 10. You're gonna need that. Okay, Mercedes is notorious for using these on like everything. So, not that size particular, just stars, Torx. Unbolt that. Okay, just little black screws, nothing fancy. And just put them somewhere you're not gonna lose them. Okay, grab the other one in here. Spin it all the way out. You know, for those guys that are not really, you know, do-it-yourselfers, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. I know it sounds as stupid as I said it, but some people don't know. Okay, now you have a tab here. You can see it. And this is actually a tab itself. After you pull the bolt out, it's actually a built-in tab too. What you're going to use is that nifty little flathead, and you're going to pry that outwards towards the camera. Not hard, you just flip it out and it'll come down. And there's also a clip in the back where my finger is. It's right back here. I really don't think I need to move the camera to show you this because it's so freaking obvious that you just push it over. Okay, now I'm going to go get my little screwdriver here. If I didn't lose it, there it is. You want to pry this tab outwards like that. Now look at that, how the whole thing just slid down. Okay, this tab you don't need the screwdriver for. I'm not using it. You just use your thumb. That'll pop right out. And this one it's a push tab type. So you want to push and pull like that. Like I said, new tabs, it's going to feel like you're breaking stuff, but you're not. And this whole unit drops. Okay, it's a perfect time to blow out the dirt. Okay, and this is ultimately what you're left with. Oh geez, there we go. This is what you're left with. This is where that light is, and this is your socket. This is not a twist type socket. For the guys that have done your headlights, you have to actually no, you have to pinch and pull on this model, on the Mercedes. This one, the C63. It's a pinch and pull to get that little 194 wedge bulb in. This has no twist. This is literally just a rubber grommet, sorry, that you're gonna pull. You can twist it. It's got like a built-in O-ring just there to seal the condensation out. Just twist it out. There you go. Here's your piece. There's their lens. Now, a lot of guys are going to be tempted to pry that out to cheap way. Do not do that. You're going to break something. This is what it looks like on the inside. The little housing. So you're not going to get anywhere. It's not going to do anything. Actually, this whole piece itself has little tabs. It comes completely out. This will come right out and you'll have a hole right there. Set that to the side, and now let's focus on your bulb. Okay, here's your bulb, plain Jane, nothing special. That's what it looks like. It's a wedge style. Most of your bulbs in your car are like this. Okay, so you're gonna want to grab your LED, which mine are right here. Nothing special. Okay, mine happen to be polar. So what that means is if it doesn't work one way, you want to flip it. It's the simplest way to put it. Okay, I just stick it in, and what you're going to want to do is grab your keys. You don't want to put this all back in and just say, oh, it's done. Because if it doesn't work, like i.e. polar, and you put all this back together, you're going to be really pissed off. So get your keys, which I'm doing now. Okay. There's your key. Easiest way to do it. Don't have to get inside your car. Unlock the car. Okay, look. Mine didn't work. Okay, when you unlock the car, it should illuminate. Okay? No problem. Look at that. Boom. Done. It's a polar bulb. That's why it does that. Don't freak out. I mean, it's very possible that you could have a bad LED, but flip it first before you start going loony. Lock it up again. And eventually it'll fade away. But it doesn't matter at this point, it can glow all day long because you can still work. Now, stick the keys in your pocket, grab back your piece, the black piece. There it goes, it turns off, now I'm not blind. You can see there's a little O-ring on there. Feel free, if you want, you can use a little bit of grease, it'll help it slide in. I actually haven't used anything and I got the last one in just fine, so I'm just going to wing it. It's kind of an awkward position to stick this in because the wires are so short and the plastic is so big. Now you're going to have to just kind of aggressively, slide it in there. If you want, I guess you could pull the plastic off and do it as well. But look, yeah, it just slides right in. It's like a tab. Looks like Mercedes even gave you a little tab on the end here, on the end of this rubber piece to pull. I feel more comfortable pulling the whole unit itself. And that's it. That's just about it. And what I'll do for demonstration purposes is I'll just unlock the car. Look how bright it is. A lot better than that halogen yellow. So what we want to do is make sure this wire is out of the way. It's time to realign this thing and put it back up. Very easy. Just make sure the wire is completely out of the way. And remember, there's no real moving parts on this part of the job. Everything's pretty stationary. And you'll hear the confirmation on the tabs click, click, click. Let me wrap this up. There. And that's about it. That puts that piece into place. Now don't forget, you had 2 bolts that you took off. Put those 2 bolts in. With your Torx, it was a 10. And just put them in. Guys, you don't need to kill these either. Okay? Snug, you're good. Mirror's not going anywhere. And the same thing for here. Snug it up. Okay. Now, you're here, everything's in, make sure it's clipped in. You only want to do this once. What do they say? Measure twice, cut once. It's the same theory for this. Now for reinstallation of the mirror. Alright guys, we went ahead, we changed the base, we changed the bulb, it works, we confirmed it. Now we just got to reinstall the glass. No trick to this one, you really just push it back on. Okay. Still though, be careful, be gentle, you don't want to scratch anything. Scratch any of the glass, and you want to make sure all the wires are out of the way. Okay. And it literally just clips right back on. Just like that. Okay? And there's that. Now what I'm going to do is, it comes back again, you want to test everything before you put it back together. So I'm going to go inside the car, key position 2, and test the mirror and make sure it works. Once I confirmed it works, I'm good. Then I know I'm okay. It looks like I am, but just to be safe. Okay. Key position 2. And just see if it works. I would do full lock all around just to make sure everything looks good. It looks fine. It looks like it's going to be just okay. So I'm just going to put it back like that. Okay. And if you're doing this, you're going to see an indicator on your dash for the turn signal because the mirror cap isn't plugged in. Not a big deal. Okay, so now that we confirmed that the mirror is good, remember you can always adjust this with your hands as well. Not going to hurt anything. We can apply the cap. Now remember guys, the cap has a plug for the LED. Okay. All you have to do is line this cap up as so. It's basically lined up. You want to pay attention to the base of the mirror. That's really the only part of the mirror that can get close. Now I was just thinking to myself just now, if you want to ensure no scratches, go ahead and put some painter's tape over it. That'd probably be just fine. You can look inside and make sure everything looks like it's going to line up. And you want to actually, let me just double check the wiring. I always want to do that beforehand. You really only get, well, if you want to do it once, you get one shot. So just double check the wiring. Make sure nothing is in the way. Okay. Slide this down, the cap down. As you can see, mine's being a little stubborn. There we go. Ensure the clip's right. Clip, clip, clip. And that's it. Literally, that's it. I'm just going to push the mirror out like that. Obviously, it's going to be really dirty. You're going to want to clean it. But that's it. Now, everything is complete. You want to go through and test your blinkers. Make sure everything's okay. But that's really all that it entails. Cap, screws, clips, base out, change the bulb, confirm the bulb works, and put everything back together. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed my tutorial and do it yourself on how to do this. It's pretty straightforward. Remember, the only way you're going to learn this stuff is if you take it apart. As I go along with this car, I guess I'll just make some videos for you guys and help you out. Since the market on videos is kind of small on the Mercedes, I'm coming from a Subaru world where there's almost like a do-it-yourself for everything. So hopefully this helped. If there's any questions, feel free to ask. I'm sure the forum members will be able to pitch in as well and help out. But I think that's a pretty straightforward tutorial. It covers everything you need to do. The hardest part being just pulling the cap off. That's going to be the hardest thing to do. Be gentle, have patience, and just do it right. You're going to be pissed if you break something. So I'm glad I can help. Roman from the forums. Check out my YouTube. And if anything else I can help you out with, just let me know.